Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Dad, Nooch Too Good, and I've been getting a lot of questions lately, a lot of requests to let you guys know what are the best Grand Arena teams that we've got in the game right now for early, new, early, mid-game players as you're getting started. And I think a lot of this is really, I don't think I've ever had this many requests about it, but I think a lot of it is driven around our favorite table we look at all the time is these lightspeed tokens everybody's unlocking. And we're gonna go over this. I'm gonna give you a bunch of teams that are kind of centered around that, but maybe also diverging a little bit off of there. But early teams you can use in Grand Arena, both for offense and for defense. Now, before we get started, I do want to say one thing. It is completely impossible for me to cover every single possible team in early rounds of Grand Arena. Some of you guys are going out there and paying some money and getting Galactic Legends early. Some of you guys are unlocking Kylo and Rey with those Lightspeed bundles that are permanent in the game. You're getting Executor early. Some of you guys are getting Revans. There are a lot of teams out there that are being farmed outside of the Lightspeed token blogosphere. Lightspeed token, LSTosphere, I don't know what you call it. A lot of teams being farmed, and Galaxy of Heroes is a game where you are allowed to, and you can do you. You can farm whatever team that you want to farm in Galaxy of Heroes to your heart's desire. With that said, I do believe, as I stated earlier, a lot of the questions I'm getting are because of people are unlocking these Lightspeed token journeys and like, what do I do with these characters in Grand Arena? So, and we've got another 5v5 round of Grand Arena on the way here. I think our signups begin later today, or if you're watching this later on, signups begin sometime soon. I don't know. So let's take a look at early. I'm gonna say early, new early, and mid-game-ish teams for Grand Arena and Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. You can see me up here on my early account. I'm sitting in Carbonite too. I've been going back and forth between Carbonite and Bronzium. I think once I get my first Galactic Legend, I'll be able to lock in that Bronzium, but let's take a look at everything. And let's start right here with the Phoenix. Now, this is the very first set of Lightspeed tokens a lot of us had unlocked in the game. This is a very good Grand Arena team with Rex down here kind of being the motor oil. Without Rex, this whole thing locks up. It's just a piece of garbage, right? So in Grand Arena, your best team's gonna have Kanan rather than Ezra in it. Ezra is the token you get. Kanan is a character you farm on your own. This is a really good Grand Arena team. Now, Captain Rex himself has a Grand Arena Omicron that I haven't put on him yet. I probably should. It's not the absolute best Grand Arena Omicron, but it's pretty darn good, and I'm gonna play it. I've been slacking here. Rex gains critical damage and an additional 60% max health and 25 speed. And whenever an ally is afflicted with ability block or daze, they dispel it and gain 2 stacks of whenever an ally on all enemies, sorry. And then Captain Rex uses his basic, he recovers 10% health protection. It's a good Grand, but this is a good Grand Arena team. Early on, it can be put on defense. I really like to save this for offense because it's pretty flexible for a lot of those early round Grand Arena teams. So it can function equally well on defense or offense. My preference is offense, and if you guys have been watching me play Grand Arena, you see me use this on offense primarily. I've got other teams I like to use on defense, and I like to go out there, and it's a very flexible team. And by the way, if you're gonna choose like one character, you can see I've got this whole team, Gear 13 across the board, and a Gear 10 Kanan. If you gotta pick one team, or one character here to relic, it's Rex. It's Rex all day and Rex all night. Absolutely. And Kanan, relicking Kanan would be really good for this team too. But the Phoenix, really good offense team, really good defense team. I prefer offense on that. And I did end that sentence really weird. I prefer offense on that. I don't know what that means, but I said it. And sometimes, when you talk as much as I do, you're trying to find different words to put in there, and then you put in different words, and it sounds bad words. It's bad words, bad. Another thing I forgot to mention at the beginning, we got a great community, here. And when I say that I just cannot cover all the combos, 100% of the time, when I make a video like this, I'll get a question in chat. Hey, but with the Phoenix, I wanted to use Zeb instead of Chopper. What do you think of that? Well, the answer is no, don't do that. But it happens all the time. What if I use Ahsoka here instead of General Kenobi? All of the time. please put those in the comments. And folks, you're a great community. You're smart. You have deep knowledge. Please look below and answer some questions if you got that knowledge you can share, because I just can't get to all the questions, and I apologize to everybody. Another thing you can do is you can join my Discord. There's a link in the description to join my Discord. Lots of great help and information there. We've even got... I'm so excited about I'm stumbling over my words. We've even got a Galaxy of Helpers team that can you can open a ticket with them and they can answer questions. Lots of farming questions, lots of great help in my Discord and the comments below. Okay, please participate by answering some questions. The next team, I love this team. I love this team right here. This team right here on defense is gonna get you holds in, it's just gonna get you lots and lots of holds in early and mid rounds of Grand Arena. It is Qui Gon Jinn with his Omicron, his Zeta and Omicron right up here, with the Poncho Bros and Anakin in there. That fifth spot could be Ahsoka, General Kenobi. Those would be the only two I'd really slide in and out of there. And you got Ki-Adi-Mundi, I guess, but you probably don't have Ki-Adi-Mundi if you're watching this video. Look. This team on defense is brutal. It does nasty, nasty things to people. I get holds all of the time with this specific team, or in 3v3. I even just use that top row up there. Anakin under Qui-Gon with the Poncho Bros, and you should have them at Relic 7 minimum. I've got them at Relic 9. These guys are making people suffer in early to mid rounds of Grand Arena. You know, they would probably have to bring in a Galactic Legend, which some people, if they don't bring a Galactic Legend, people lose this all the time. The reason I like it on defense rather than offense is because the times I would want to use it on offense are when I'm facing a Galactic Legend, but a Galactic Legend nullifies the Omicron and Qui-Gon Jinn, and this turns into just an average, useless team. So this is a great team to put on defense. I love protecting the front wall with this team in early rounds of Grand Arena. And along a similar vein and in the same range of Galactic Republic Jedi here, and by the way, on the previous team, you've got to have Galactic Republic Jedi. Qui-Gon wants Jedi, Anakin wants Galactic Republic. It's all Galactic Republic Jedi on both of these teams. Kelleran Beq lead, and by the way, Kelleran Beq also leading the Poncho Bros is a good holding team as well. Just doesn't hold quite as well as Qui-Gon Jinn with his Omicron. So if you just got the Kelleran Beq Lightspeed token and you don't have Qui-Gon Jinn with his Omicron yet, put Kelleran Beq in there and put those Poncho Bros on his team and watch that get some holds for you as well. It's just not quite as good as that Qui-Gon Omicron there. I'm mixing and matching the Jedi here. Generally speaking, you want to put the Poncho Bros together on one of these teams. You want Jedi Knight Anakin under the Qui-Gon Jinn Omicron. Then you can mix in, you know, for me, it's like I want to tank on both teams. So I got Mace Windu here. I got General Kenobi on the other team, so at least I've got a tank that's working on both teams and bringing that taunt in. But you can do a lot of mixing and matching with the Galactic Republic Jedi. Just keep Jedi Knight Anakin under that Qui-Gon lead, and again, Qui-Gon has to have his Omicron, and keep the Poncho Bros together wherever you put them. That's my biggest piece of advice here in the early game. But these two Galactic Republic Jedi teams, they're going to get you a lot of work. And this one also, I feel like this is mainly a defensive team. This can cause a lot of problems for people early on. You know, this team would do great on offense as well. Anytime I say something's good on defense, it's going to be good on offense, but I want to put these teams in that can really befuddle somebody. So I really like the Galactic Republic Jedi teams on defense in Grand Arena. And now we turn our attention to some dark side teams. We've got the bounty hunters up here. Now, this is kind of a work in progress, so to speak, but I will say that I've definitely gotten holds on defense at the lower levels of Grand Arena with a boss bounty hunter team. And with Fennec Shand in there, it's really going to elevate this because she's one of the Lightspeed tokens that you get. And I'm curious about Asajj Ventress over there. I will one Lightspeed token that you do get, you should never use in this team, or it just is kind of just garbage. I substituted Asajj Ventress for IG-88. He's really not a very good piece on this team. He doesn't really fit. I think it's definitely worth getting. If you've got a Gear 12 Asajj over there, it's definitely worth giving her a shot here in this team. Or maybe even like I don't know, a Mandalorian. I don't know, just you can put IG-88 in here at Relic and it's fine. And I guess with Relic Delta it might make some difference. But I'm not a big fan of IG-88 as a character in the game. Now, offense or defense, as I mentioned, I have gotten holds with a boss team on defense. It's happened more than once in the Carbonite and Bronzium levels of Grand Arena. I think this is a 50-50. It's definitely a team that you could just put together and throw on defense, and it's not a complete pushover. There's a lot of teams that can beat it, but with Relic Delta, like low-level Imperial Troopers can't do that anymore. So it might do some stuff for you on defense. Again, the addition of Fennec Shand really kind of transforms how this team is going to look for you. I also like it on offense situationally, you know, like against Night Sisters, they can't revive if Boba Fett takes them out with a rocket. Fennec does a lot of damage with her basics, so I think this one can be a float for you. I generally, though, place a boss team on defense because it's just kind of a set it and leave it kind of thing, and it fills a spot, and occasionally I get some use out of it. I guess that's what I'm talking about. And if you thought that was a little wishy-washy, I'm putting Bosk on defense. Just put him on defense and don't worry about it. This is kind of well, not kind of. The Inquisitor team is like a brand new team to the annals of talking about early game, mid-game Grand Arena. This is brand new here. Now, to be fully to be transparent, that's what we want to say. To be transparent, this team is really not in its final form, its final Saiyan form until, is that how you say it? Is that how you say it? It's final Saiyan form? I don't know. My kids are into it. I'm not a Dragon Ball guy, but this team is not in its final form until you unlock Reva and get her as the leader of the team. With Grand Inquisitor, this is a functional team that can do some things for you in Grand Arena on offense in the right situation. I would probably try to go in with a Relic Delta advantage here. One note, I'm going to say it again to everybody, the big danger of these Inquisitors for you as a player is their Omicrons. These Inquisitors all have leadership Omicrons. Don't use them. Don't use them. They're territory wars. I've seen people apply 5 leadership Omicrons to the 5 lesser. Don't do it. Don't apply any Omicrons here. You don't need them. You can put Grand Inquisitor's Omicrons on there for territory wars, and that'll be just fine for you. This team, with Grand Inquisitor as the lead, you could put it on defense just to occupy a spot, and I don't think that's the worst idea ever. Second Sister is the one that shuffles her way out of the team here. As Grand Inquisitor comes in, Second Sister goes out. Again, you can bring this in here on offense. Just look for a Relic Delta advantage. This isn't a great performing team. It's just not. You've got to have speed advantages. You've got to have Relic Delta advantages. I'm sure you can find some spots where this will do some good for you in early rounds of Grand Arena, or like I mentioned, it could be just a great fill a spot on defense kind of team for you. Now, I have yet to activate my Princess Leia and Farm Boy Luke Lightspeed tokens. You probably have, and by the time you watch this, or at some point in the very near future, we're gonna get the Stormtrooper Han, Old Ben, and I already got R2. Stormtrooper Han, Old Ben, Akbar tokens as well on top of those, and CLS. We just got Stormtrooper Luke in the game for those who played the era here in front of us. I'm willing to give this team a shot in Grand Arena. Right now, once I get everybody Relic on this team, which will probably be next week for me, but once I get everybody Relic, once I have Princess Leia Relic, Stormtrooper Han, Old Ben, I get them all with Lightspeed tokens, get them all Relic, put R2 in there. Stormtrooper Luke is built for 3v3 with Princess Leia and Stormtrooper Han. That's what he's built for. He's got specific Omicrons in there. He's got Zetas in there. I might need to apply these Zetas. I got to take a look at this. I'm probably going to apply these Zetas, and I'm looking to take this team into offense in Grand Arena initially. It might be okay on defense, but I feel like this is a team that, if it's on defense, could really be targeted pretty specifically to get around it. Like, if you target, if the other team goes first and they target Princess Leia, they're going to knock her out very easily. She is very squishy, and No. Look, my first love, Princess Leia. Look, I'm going to give this team a shot in Grand Arena this time around. It'll probably be the second round of Grand Arena after I get all these Lightspeed tokens activated. I think this will be a functional team, especially at these lower levels of Grand Arena. I think this will be a very functional 5v5 team for us in these low levels of Grand Arena with Stormtrooper Luke and this team. And by the way, none of these are going to interfere with the CLS team that you're working on building. You are working toward this team. Now that you've got that, you're getting that CLS Lightspeed token, you've got it. You're going to get a Chewpio token with the droid token, most likely. You're going to get a Chewbacca token with the bounty hunters here pretty soon. You're going to go unlock Han Solo. Look at him posing there. That's right, I'm Han Solo. What are you going to do about it? And C-3PO, you get with your Ewoks. This is the team you want to build toward, and this is a team you can build toward in the early game of Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. The good thing about that other team, the Stormtrooper Luke team, is it takes nothing away from this team. Although, if you've got Han and Chewie and you don't have CLS, or you got Chewpio and Chewie, nuts, whatever, I think those would do great on that Stormtrooper Luke team as well. So we're gonna mix and match here a little bit until we get to the full CLS team up and running. I don't know, we can't really compare the Stormtrooper Luke to the CLS team yet, but I think that Stormtrooper Luke team in 3v3 is going to have a lot of benefits. 5v5, I still think these are two teams you can rely on. And as far as defense or offense with this team, it's going to perform well on both sides of the aisle in the lower levels of Grand Arena. If you've got, with Han going first, it can do some really good things on defense. It can be really difficult to get through for people with guard from Chewbacca out there. If you take it on offense, there's going to be a whole lot of teams you can overcome out there. So offense or defense, this is a really flexible team once you've got it up and running. Although generally, I think as Grand Arena moves forward, you really want to have this team on offense for cleanups and for just taking out teams down the road. But it can do pretty well on defense too. Here's one of my favorites for early rounds of Grand Arena. I love this, and you guys have seen me struggle against these guys, and we've seen me get holds with these guys. The Geos. Are the Geos like the end-all be-all of any Grand Arena round ever? Generally speaking, no. But what the Geos do is, if your opponent stumbles at all and the Geos start getting turns, they're probably going to lose. In these lower levels of Grand Arena, if you put these guys in back and maybe they exhaust some teams in front and they don't have the teams to get through them, if the Geos start getting turns, it's on. It is on. And especially if you bought one of those Geonosian Lightspeed bundles, which actually, I think they're permanent in the game now, but not available till you get to 4 million. Your Geos can do a lot of work in Grand Arena. They're just a really, really good team to place on defense. I don't like them on offense as much. If you bring them on offense, a lot of times you end up just having them sit on the bench. I like to put them out there, fill a spot on defense. I'll either put them on the back wall or I'll put them on a front wall in front of my fleet. So I really do like the Geos in these early rounds of Grand Arena. And speaking of fleets, this is kind of it's a little bit different out there. I'm a big proponent, as you know, of farming the Executor first, especially with the Lightspeed tokens as they are now. I think you can unlock the Executor really quickly, maybe just at 4 or 5 stars because you're still farming the ships. I think you can do a real quick Executor unlock. People have been unlocking Profanity pretty quickly as well. When you get that first big capital ship, drop it on your defense. Just drop it back there on defense. Make your opponent go through it. And I think that stands all the way through, with Carbonite, Bronzium, Chromium, at least through those 3 levels of Grand Arena until you get to Aurodium. Then you may start thinking about stuff. Maybe they have an Executor, they put it out there. Maybe not. When you get your Executor, when you get your Profanity, maybe when you get your Leviathan with the Lightspeed bundles that just dropped, you put them on defense. Make your opponent beat this team. I gotta tell you, I was in Bronzium last week. I don't think anybody beat my Executor. Bronzium 4 and 5, I don't think anybody touched this fleet, if I remember right. So yes, this goes on defense. And in fact, if you're building up a big offensive team, you might even just go light on the defensive teams. You put your maybe boss bounty hunters, your Geos out there. Maybe you save the Qui Gon Jinn Omicron for offense, just relying on the Executor to hold while you go get a full clear. Now the question that comes to mind there is, what's your secondary fleet? You got a Home 1 secondary fleet. You've got a Malevolent secondary fleet. You got an Endurance secondary fleet. That, I think, stays on offense, whether it's early all the way through, all the way till, you know, through the Erodium levels. Keep those secondary fleets for offense. Practice your counters for fleets like the Executor and the Profundity, if you can do that. But what I'm finding is I get a lot of crap fleets on defense, and I can get through it with my home one. My home one is still under construction as a fleet, but I have had great luck with that, and the Malevolence backing it up as well. This goes on defense once you unlock it. All other fleets before you unlock Executor, after you unlock Executor, I think all other good fleets go on offense. So until you get Executor out there, you're just gonna put some garbage back there in fleets and take your best fleet on offense. That's how I play it. I'm sure some of you guys do it differently, but that's my thought process. And back up here at everybody's favorite, Wampa, 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 Womp, Womp, Womp. We love Wampa. I love Wampa. I love Lamp. Wampa is tremendous. You should get yourself a Wampa, whether it's with a Lightspeed token or farming with your raid and or guild currency, probably just raid currency. Zeta, Omicron, full Grand Arena team, offense only. You can't put her on defense. I love Wampa. You will love Wampa. We love Wampa. Everybody loves Wampa. Now let's branch out a little bit and start getting into some teams that we're starting to think about, or that you might have more or less available on your roster depending on what you've done with your depth. This team right here, Palpatine, Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, Mara Jade, and Darth Vader duels end. I've only got them at Gear 12 and 3 stars. I'm really curious to see what this team can accomplish in Grand Arena, and I'm probably going to be applying these Zetas and Omicrons to Darth Vader Duels End before I get to this round of Grand Arena. I think that even at 3 stars and Gear 12, he's going to get some stuff done. I might be totally wrong. It's entirely possible I'm wasting that stuff, and I should wait and see. So we'll see how I handle it, but this team in early rounds of Grand Arena is going to do a lot of work for you. For those of you who are here for the era battles with Darth Vader Duels End, this is going to do a lot of work. And if you take him out of there and even put in Royal Guard, you still got a fairly effective team for the early levels. Don't put this on defense. This is not a defensive team by any stretch. On offense, you know, you take this out on offense, pick your spots, find a team that you can land a lot of debuffs against, because that's going to drive the turn meter here to get everything running with this team is debuffs, because they're all landing tons of debuffs, and your turn meter train gets run by debuffs with Palpatine and the lead. So, and debuffs expiring, by the way. So even if you don't have Darth Vader Duels in, you put a Royal Guard in there, you put Thrawn in there, you go to work on offense with this team and get some stuff done. And I'm a big fan of this team. You just got to pick the right offensive spots, not defense. Don't put it on defense. And circling back with some more Empire in our lives, this is a team that is not as good as it used to be. And it makes me sad. Relic Delta has really done a number on my Imperial Troopers. I used to take this squad out there, and I could kill any number of teams. Relic teams. If I outsped a Jedi Knight Revan, a Darth Revan, if I outsped a, Bounty Hunters is pretty basic and simple. These guys, they still might struggle. Well, actually, I think they still work against Bounty Hunters because I've got P at Relic 8 in there for the Executor. This team used to do a lot of stuff. It still does some stuff in the game. You've got to have a Relic Piet, maybe a Relic Dark Trooper in there like I've got. You can't do this with all gear, purple gear characters. I used to be able to do stuff with this team with all purple gear characters if I was faster than my opponent, because they would never get a turn. I just keep loading and going and going. But Relic Delta, if they've got a Relic 3-5 team out there and you take this in there, it's gonna take you a while. So it's still a useful team. It's become more of a cleanup team these days than it used to be. I still like this team for early rounds of Grand Arena. It's just not quite what it used to be, and you've got to get a couple of Relic characters in there to make this thing work against, teams that are going to have Relic Delta advantages on you. So be careful. Oh, and offense only, never defense. Never, ever, ever. This is a team you're going to get a bunch of Lightspeed tokens for, and you can even have Beskar Mando, because this team unlocks Beskar Mando, and you get a Beskar Mando Lightspeed token. This is not a good team. I'm just putting this out there. Not a good team on defense or offense. It doesn't really make sense to have Mando on a team that's not fully Bounty Hunters. Same with Grief Karga. They belong on a Bounty Hunter team. You may be able to mix and match them in there on the Bosk team. If Asajj isn't working, maybe you can throw Grief Karga in there for some healing, or Mando for some disintegrating. This team right there, not a good team to put out there. If you mix Beskar Mando in, still not a good team. This is, I just want to make it clear, you're going to get a bunch of Lightspeed tokens here. there's not much going on here. It seems like they should work well together. There's just not a lot of great, it just doesn't do a lot for you. So just put them off to the side. You can use Mando and Grief Karga with bounty hunters in different situations. Queel, IG-11, and Cara Dune kind of fall by the wayside. Cara Dune's got some plug-and-play usefulness with Rebel fighters, maybe against an Empire team where they can't resist her stun, but just nothing really going on here. Take those Lightspeed tokens and bank them for Beskar Mando, who then goes on to your Bo-Katan team later, but not here. Last two teams here we're going to go over. If you're like me and you listen to what I'm saying, you're farming the Peridea Pals early on. You've got them at least at Relic 7. Here's a Peridea Pal team for you. They're better in 3v3. I've got Scout Trooper because I grabbed Scout Trooper with a Lightspeed token, my Empire Lightspeed token to work toward Leia Organa. I got TIE Fighter Pilot in there. Any Imperial Remnant who's not a leader or droid will work. I could also have, well, droid. Yeah, droid kind of, here it is. And whenever another non-droid would be reduced 1% health. So, you know, the droid, Dark Trooper can be killed in there. This is an okay team. It's not a great team. At the Relic levels, the thing that can benefit you is you've got them at Relic 7 or you got them at Relic 9 and you take them out there on offense and you face like a Relic 3 or Relic 5 team, you're gonna be automatically Relic Delta up through the nose. So I do a couple things with this team. I can throw them on defense just to occupy a spot, and my opponent might have to do something. And right now, we've had a lot of Night Trooper lights or Datacrons lately, so maybe we'll keep getting those. That makes this a better team. Early on, this might get some holds. You know, in Carbonite, maybe in Bronzium, it get some holds of this. Generally speaking, I think it's a better team to take on offense. Find a target that's got, well, this actually performs pretty well against like a Qui Gon. If I remember right, I might be misremembering, but I believe this is a really good Qui Gon counter for you. Meaning Qui Gon Jinn with his Omicron that we talked about earlier. That's so awesome. This team does a pretty good job of countering that. Yeah, you can put it on defense and fill a spot. I like it on offense. Look for Relic Delta advantages. It's a good team. It's not really built. It's built more for your Peridea Pals, but you might as well use it in Grand Arena in some fashion. And our final team today, I have been building, and I basically got built this Relic 5, Relic 3 Traya team. Guys, this thing was functioning for me even at Gear 12. I had Nihilus at Gear 12. I had Traya at Gear 12. I haven't done the 5v5 with Cyan in there yet. This team has been working for me already at those Gear 12 levels. This is not a Lightspeed token team. This is a team you go out and get on your own. Savage is an easy farm. In the Squad Arena store, you got to farm Nihilus and Cyan with currency. You've got to get Darth Traya with your Mark 1 raid currency as a raid reward. I've got Darth Vader. I know I had him on another team as well. You can probably function with just these four in the early levels of Grand Arena. If you can plug and play another Sith in there, maybe you go get, the classic is Darth Talon. I don't know if I go out of my way to get Darth Talon to put on. If you can find another Sith to plug in here, just a Sith in general, it's gonna make it, you know, what am I trying to say? You can't place this on defense without a full team, okay? It's gonna be a really good defensive team in early rounds of Grand Arena. It really is. This is a good defensive team to throw out there in late rounds of Grand, like in Erodium and Kyber. You have to use really big teams to get through this. You can't fart around with this team, man. You got to go after it and you got to get it out of there. It's a tremendous team for offense. You can kill with Darth Vader in there. If you run across a Jedi Master Luke on defense and the mods aren't there and it's just kind of, you can kill a Jedi Master Luke team. It's not 100%, but this team on offense in Grand Arena is an absolute murder fest, and we love it. But I think it's 50-50 defense and offense. At these lower levels, it can really serve as a giant bulwark on defense as well. Guys, when you go through all these teams and you're looking at them, let me go back to the screen here and just kind of pull it open here, and I can just go through, we just scroll through this here. As you're looking at these teams, I'm telling you offense, I'm telling you defense, I'm giving you mixes and matches. You got to play around with it yourself. You know, everybody wants me to give them all the answers up front. Don't go looking for all the answers up front. Play around, experiment. It's a game, man. Try some different things, do some different teams, do something different than I did. See if it works. Maybe it works for you and it didn't work for me, and nobody else is, maybe you find something that nobody else figured out. What is the worst it's going to cost you? One battle lost in a Grand Arena. Maybe you lose a round of Grand Arena because you experimented around. You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Mix and match. Try things. throw different teams out there, see what they do. I'm gonna be playing with Darth Vader Dual Zen here and Stormtrooper Luke. I really don't know how they're gonna do here quite yet, but we're gonna play around with it this time to see what happens. Do your experiments, find out what happens. Everybody, go to the comments below, help people out with those questions where they bring in, what about this one character, this one team that you didn't think of? I can't answer all the questions, everybody. I appreciate you. You're all wonderful people. I don't care what Deacon says about you. Have a good day. Talk to you soon. Always remember, Nooch too good.